I've taken now quite a few people to see elephants for the first time, including Ali Kiba from Tanzania, who had never seen an elephant. And we went out and a big bull came right up next to us. And at first he was so nervous. He was like, oh my God. And then afterwards he just fell in love with them.
WildAid Director Peter Knights says Kenya's focus on intelligence-based conservation is appropriate in dealing with kingpins of illegal trade. He says whereas poachers are arrested and sentenced, kingpins mostly roam freely and continue killing elephants and rhinos.
Well, my understanding is that was how it was 2 or 3 years ago. And my understanding was if you killed an elephant, it was the same as you took 2 goats, you stole 2 goats. But my understanding is in the last couple of years, there's been a new wildlife law. The penalties have gone up considerably to jail time. And the courts and the Attorney General has been training the judges and the prosecutors to go for much more significant sentencing. The problem is, though, that we tend to catch the poachers and not the big guys. And I think that's the problem. I think now the laws in Kenya are good enough to, if we catch the big guys, we can really hurt them. Catching them is a little bit more difficult. And that, we spoke yesterday with the head of Kenya Wildlife Service, and he was telling us we're moving more to intelligence-based operations. Rather than just patrolling, we're trying to find out what's going on. And this is really where the Kenyan public can really help, is if you hear even rumors about people smuggling or dealing in ivory, pass them on to Kenya Wildlife Service, because now they have the laws that they can actually pursue. And that's how you catch the big guys and not just the little guys. And I think we all know there's almost limitless supply of poor guys on the ground who are willing to risk everything. It's the middlemen, the people who are profiting, they're the ones that we have to stop.
Knights further believes through education, communities can share ownership of wildlife and help to protect it. His organization intends to encourage more Kenyans to appreciate the diversity of wildlife in the country.
What we just want people to realize is that it's not just about the animals. These are assets to the country. It's been estimated that over the course of its 70-year lifetime, an elephant may generate between $1 and $1.6 million of tourism money. And so that's important for the Kenyan economy. So we want to emphasize that. It's not just about animals, but that it's about your heritage, and that everybody should be engaged in trying to protect these animals. And really, in terms of action of what people want to do, we want to sensitize people to how incredible and valuable these animals are. And so when we come to those questions of wildlife-human conflict, that's taken into account. People are always going to be more important. There's no doubt that's the reality. But can we find some compromise, some balance where we don't completely destroy the wildlife for the sake of ever-expanding human needs? So it's really to try and enthuse and excite people about wildlife. Kenya is a pretty easy country to do this because already people are very enthusiastic. And we did a survey, and we actually thought the whole conflict issue would be much more prevalent than it was. About 2,000 people, about 20% of people brought up the conflict issue. And we also found that people in the rural areas were actually just as supportive of conservation as people in the urban areas. So over 96% of people in Kenya we surveyed said that wildlife was really important for national heritage, for the economy, and for national identity. And so, Kenya is one of the places we least need to do our campaign. But the idea is to try and get people excited, enthused about conservation, and not just feel it's the other person, but it's something all of us own, and all of us hopefully can get some point in our lives the chance to enjoy and appreciate.
For Capital TV, I am Judy Kaberia.
No.